Hey guys, it's my second narration for today because I'm in a good mood and I'm on holidays and I'm bored as hell. So I've got a battle against, I forgot, it was Riako or something, I don't know pronunciations. So we both lead out with shiny Pokemon, they're both leads, they both go for taunt, but his taunt stops my taunt, so I just go for the U-turn to get out of there since I can't set rocks up anymore. So I go straight into my Jolteon while he goes for the rain dance on my Volt Switch. My Volt Switch takes now and I'm like, happy days. So I go into my Turtle, my Slowking's like, this game's going really fast after it was sped up. And he goes straight into his Haxless. And Haxless is like, I set up the substitutes and then go for the freeze hacks. And I'm like, oh! He even said NB3. Yes, NB3 freeze hacks. And I was like, damn you, person that I'm bursting. So here I stay and try and get thawed out. Yeah, like that's gonna happen. But then I predict the Thunder Punch, so I go into my Flygon to just U-turn to get some damage before I go into my something. And I give him the Mummy ability because I know he has whatever, the Iron Fist ability, and I just thought it would be funny to do that because he was talking about it earlier on the Zap we were on. But anyway, I go into this, I use a Calm Mind on the swap, I go for the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball does about half and gets the Spadef drop, and I'm thinking I'm gonna die, but then he's like, oh, I'll just swap out, expecting him to go for another Shadow Ball, but I actually swap out. And go back into my Turtle. My Turtle's like, haha, frozen. And then he gets a crit, and he was like, Immovable crit on chat as well. I'm like, oh my god. And then I accidentally go for the Thunder Wave instead of the Toxic. And I'm talking really fast because it's sped up 300%. But that's okay. He Toxics me, and that's okay because I've got 2 Regenerators on my team, which he was getting pissed about. So, yeah. He predicted me to swap out into Tangela or Flygon at this stage, but I decided to just keep going for the Surfs, and then I go into my Kofafafafavok, which was Miss-Saved. It's shiny for a start, which it wasn't meant to be, and it's got a Chesto Berry, but no rest. I accidentally put Thunder Wave, and then I forgot to put on Hidden Power Fighting, so then I just decided to Calm Mind until I died. So he goes for the Toxic rather than killing me, and I was like, are you kidding? But then he swaps out, and I go for a free Hidden Power Dark, base 70 power, yo, and he takes it pretty well, because he's obviously a tanky one. But whatever, I go into my Jolteon to scare him out. I know he was going to go into this, but I forgot he had the Trace, so I was like, I'm a douchebag. So I go into my Gen 1 Pro. Gen 1 Pro's like, I take that Ice Beam. And then I go for the knockoff because his Violite makes him tank as. Then he goes for the Toxic, and Toxic's like, toxic. And then he avoids my Leech Seed, which means I have to swap out now. And that's okay. I get the regeneration. I go into my Turtle. He swaps out, goes into his Bruce. And I'm like, oh well, he's just going to fake out or something. And I don't take much. I just really the Toxic damage. And then he goes out of Bruce, no, you can't do much to me, and I go for Toxic on the Switch because I'm a nooblet. And now I'm like, oh, Turtle needs to heal, so I go into this, expecting the discharge, and he was like, you faggot. And I was like, you know it, brah. And then I go back out to this, and he's like, you faggot. And this is my ultimate strategy to ignore Toxic, and this time I'm like, oh, he might expect me to swap out, but he doesn't. He actually goes for the discharge. It does a reasonable amount. Go my especially defensive poke. And I just did a surf on him. Then I go into my Nympho, and I'm like, oh damn, I was scared of the Ice Beam, so I was like, oh, I should go into my Flygon, but whatever. Anyway, he already predicted him to live my Zen Headbutt and go for the recover, so I just taunt on the Switch, but whatever. So then I outspeed his Scarfed Wailord by 1, exactly 1, and kill it with a Zen Headbutt. Seeing this come in, I swap, expecting the fake out, but he goes for the Blaze Kick, and Hitmonlee's like, yeah, and then it does less than 100. I'm like, wow, tank much. Then he goes for it again, I got my Regenerator boost, I go into this, take it like a man, take like no damage, then he goes for a high jump kick, and that actually does a lot, and I just go for a surf. I'm like, why does this thing be tank for? Because I thought it was going to swap out to Porygon 2 because it's like owning my team. And now he does go out, gets the Regenerator again, annoying, makes it so much harder to kill, doesn't even need to recover. But now I go for the Leech Seed, and Leech Seed's like, yeah, you got fully paralyzed, and I'm going to gain like 6 health from the Leech Seed, which is awesome. Then I go for the Energy Ball. It does a reasonable amount after the Violite's gone, which is pretty cool. Especially since this thing has like base 236 with no investment or negative nature. Anyway, so now I swap out, and I'm like, oh fudge, he stayed in. I should have just gone for the Energy Ball. But now if he swaps out, he's going to get the regenerator. But whatever, he goes into Jackie! If you've watched Jackie Chan Adventure, you'd get it. So I toxics on the switch, knowing he had the regenerator ability, which he traced from Slowking. So now I'm going to go out into this, expecting the Thunder Punch. I block it, awesome. I go for the Hidden Power Ice, over-predicting him to swap in his Porygon 2, but it's okay, it's still a 2-hit KO. Except I forget he has the Mark Punch. I obviously would have swapped out into Slowking to take this, but whatever, it's a double down. I really would have preferred it to be alive for the Togekiss, but, you know, what can I do? Anyway, he goes into this, I go into my Poof. Poof is like, yeah, outrageous. Yeah, he's so outrageous. Because he's a Poof. That's actually just because he goes in and out of battle so much, but that's not the point. Anyway, he fake outs me, resets my outrage counter, I just go for the outrage again, then I'm hoping it would do a lot more than it did to this Togekiss, like kill it, but he decides to roost, get the confusion on me, and he knows I'm going to swap out, so he's probably going to go for the substitute, which he does, because I've seen this, I did the battle, it was only forever, 2 battles in a row, and both over 50 turns, oh my god. You know, I swap out, expecting him to go for the sub, and I didn't want to stay in confused. So I go for the Ice Beam. Ice Beam's like, yeah, break it with a useless crit. And then he's like, oh. Here I was really debating if I should go for Thunder Wave or not, but I didn't, so I was like, damn. And then he flinched me, and I'm like, I can't leave another one now, so I had to get my regenerator, go into this, get the try attack, because he didn't want to miss, I think. I don't know, maybe he wanted something else or something, I don't know. And then he goes to the air slash, and I was like hoping it missed, because I think I went for the knockoff. Anyway, I go into my Nympho, I taunt it to stop the Ruth, then I go for the Zen Headbutt, and it does work. And then I'm like, hopefully this is 2-hit KO range for my Flygon. I'm like, oh yeah, that did quite a bit. And then after his leftovers, I'm like, oh my god, if this leaves him at 1, I'm gonna cry. But it doesn't, and I win. So good game, right, Riako, and I hope you guys enjoyed my second battle for today. Peace out, comment, rate, like, subscribe, all those good stuff. Bye!